Schleswig-Holstein-Glückstadt or Schleswig-Holstein-Glückstadt is the historiographical name, as well as contemporary shorthand name, for the parts of the duchies of Schleswig and Holstein that were ruled by the kings of Denmark in the function as Dukes of Schleswig and Holstein, thus also known as Royal Schleswig-Holstein. Other parts of the duchies were ruled by the Dukes of Schleswig-Holstein-Gottorp. The territories of Holstein-Glückstadt are located in present-day Denmark and Germany. The main center of administration was Segeberg, and from 1648 Glückstadt on the River Elbe. History. After the death of Frederick I of Denmark, who was also Duke of Schleswig and Holstein, his three sons partitioned the duchies between them in 1544, whereby each of the three brothers received a part of both duchies. The Duchy of Schleswig-Holstein in Segeberg, held by King Christian III of Denmark and his successors, identical with the kings of Denmark. From 1648 the royal parts of Schleswig and Holstein were administered out of Glückstadt, known as the Duchy of Schleswig-Holstein-Glückstadt. Before 1773 its Holstein territory consisted of the following Ämter: Rendsburg, Southern Dithmarschen, Steinberg, Segeberg, and Plön. The Duchy of Schleswig-Holstein in Hadslev, held by Duke Hans the Elder. Hans had no issue, and after his death in 1580, his territories were divided among his brothers. The Duchy of Schleswig-Holstein-Gottorp, held by Duke Adolf and his successors. In addition, significant parts of Holstein were jointly administered by the Dukes of Holstein-Glückstadt and the Dukes of Holstein-Gottorp, mainly on the Baltic Sea coast. In 1640, the county of Holstein-Pinneberg, whose ruling house was extinct, was merged into the royal part of the Duchy of Holstein. In 1713, the estates of the Dukes of Schleswig-Holstein-Gottorp in Schleswig, including Schloss-Gottorp, were conquered by royal Danish troops in the course of the Great Northern War and in the 1720 Treaty of Fredericksborg. Duke Charles Frederick of Schleswig-Holstein-Gottorp had to cede them to his liege lord, the Danish crown. His remaining territories in Holstein formed the Duchy of Holstein-Gottorp, administered from Kiel. In 1773, Charles Frederick's grandson, Paul, Emperor of Russia, finally gave his Holstein parts to the Danish king, in his function as Duke of Holstein. In exchange for the county of Oldenburg, and Holstein was reunited as a single state. List of stadtholders in Schleswig-Holstein-Glückstadt. The Danish king in his function as Duke of Holstein and Duke of Schleswig appointed stadtholders to represent him in the duchies. The stadtholders fulfilled the tasks related to the ducal power as patrimonial lords in the royal shares of Holstein and Schleswig, as well as the royal part in the condominial government with the houses of Gottorp and Haderslev for all the duchies of Holstein and Schleswig. 1545 to 1550. Johann Rantzau. 1550 to 1556. Count Bertram von Ahlefeldt. 1556 to 1598. Heinrich Rantzau. 1598 to 1600. Vacancy. 1600 to 1627. Georg Rantzau. 1627 to 1647. Vacancy. 1647 to 1648. Prince Frederick of Denmark. 1648 to 1663. Christian zu Rantzau. 1663 to 1685. Friedrich von Ahlefeldt, Count of Langeland, Vice-Stadtholder since 1660. 1685 to 1697. Detlev zu Rantzau. 1697 to 1708. Friedrich von Ahlefeldt, Count of Langeland, Vice-Stadtholder since 1686. 1708 to 1722. Karl von Ahlefeldt, Count of Langeland. 1722 to 1730. 1730 to 1731, Margrave Charles Augustus of Brandenburg-Kulmbach, uncle of the next. 1731 to 1762, Margrave Frederick Ernest of Brandenburg-Kulmbach, brother-in-law of King Christian VI. 1762 to 1768, Count Friedrich Ludwig von Ahlefeldt-Den. 1768 to 1773, Prince Charles of Hesse-Kassel.